Hey mate, I'm Alex.
And I'm Gaston.
Welcome to Power Mates.
This is the place to learn and share about Fabric and Power Platform. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this channel with your friends and colleagues. So, welcome again, Power Mates. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we will be diving into a brand new sequential approval feature in Power Automate.
That's right. This is new feature is from my perspective is a game changer for workflow automation, it simplifies the approval process by allowing tasks to be approved in a specific order. So imagine that you have a document that need to go through multiple approvers and like I don't know, sales manager, director, and finally the vice president or the president. So with sequential approvals, you can set up this process with ease. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really great. So, in my mind, this means that you can have more control and efficiency on the approval process. So, thinking a little about the past, there's no way that you need to do more manual tracking or follow ups in every single step of that process, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, like Power Automate, handle it all for you. Plus, with Power Automate integration with AI Builder or OpenAI, you can enhance your automation with the power of the AI, making at some point your workflows even smarter. But let's head over to my machine so we can do a quick review of what are the change related with the approval with the old version. Okay.
Yep, sounds great.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the Power Automate main page. Now, I think we already showed that page a couple of times, but if you are new in the channel or new in the Power Automate, this is the homepage for Power Automate. You can access here to make.powerautomate.com and you can access to Power Automate. If you don't have any environment created, you're going to be redirecting by default to the default environment. So any organization have a default environment. If not, if you have an environment, you can select your environment here on the right hand side and select your environment. In our case, we are going to use the dev environment, and I am going to tell you why we are going to use dev environment today instead of the Power Automate environment that we use every time. That is because the feature that we are going to use, the sequential approval, is a feature that is still on preview. So what happened? When you try to use that feature in your Power Automate environment, probably if you are trying to use that on the default environment or any other environment, you are going to find that your version of the approval task is the old version. You are going to have only four types of approval. That is because in order to get your environment updated in terms of features, you need to create your environment and select a switch that you say, okay, update my environment. Let's see how it works. So let's go to my environment. If you click here on the right hand side again, and then admin center, here you can access to your environments. So I have already opened here. So as you can see here, I have like 6 different or 5 different environments. And this is the column that we need to take now. The column is release cycle. Release cycle means how early you want to get those releases on your environment. So if you set your environment as early, you are going to have all those releases as soon as possible installed on your environment. If you have standard, you're going to need to wait till the features on general availability to have on those environment. And how you create your environment with the early release cycle, let's check quickly here. When you click on new to create a new environment, you choose here, your name, the group, and the region. The region is important here because, for example, in my case, I have as a default South America, and as you can see here, get new feature early isn't available in the selected region. So you need to create your environment in one of the regions that the new features early it's available. So in that case, I know that if we select United States of a region, it's you have ability to get new features early. So when you are creating your environment, if your region is one of the regions allowed to get new features early, you just switch here to yes, then create your environment. No matter the type, it could be a sandbox, a trial, production, developer. But if you have that that switch turned on, you are going to have those early features available for you, and then you just create. This is a quick reminder that if you are trying to use the feature and you can't find the new version, is because you need to allow that. So worst scenario, you need to create a new sandbox of developer environment in your tenant with the early release cycle activated. Okay. So, okay, let's try that new feature. Let's use the Copilot to create a flow, but just to make it a little bit more funny. So let's say that we want to start an approval process or create an approval task when a SharePoint list item is created. Okay, so let's click on generate and let's see what happened here. Okay, that's okay. Copilot understand me. When an item is created, create an approval. Okay, so let's click on next. Permission for SharePoint, don't worry, let's create the flow. Then we can take about the permissions. So let's remove that and let's add again because something happened with the permission because it's a new feature, but let's click here, approvals. This is how we can add the approval task into the Power Automate flow. We have 4 options: create an approval, start and wait for an approval, start and wait for approval of text, or wait for an approval chat. So we are going to create start and wait for an approval. That means when the flow runs, we are going to start immediately the approval flow and keep waiting for the first approval. Okay. So in this case, this is what I was mentioning before, approval type. As you can see here, we have 5 now. If you have the old version of the Power Automate, you are going to see those 4, approve and reject. Everyone must approve and reject, first to respond. Custom responses, wait for all responses, and custom responses, wait for one response. And now the new one, sequential approval, that is the one that we are going to use today. So let's click on sequential approval and let's see what happens here. As you can see here, we have the approval type, sequential approval. Title is the title we want to add for the approval. And then here we have the approval steps, so approval step is because we want to create a sequential flow. So we need to define how many steps we want on our flow. Let's say that our flow, as I mentioned before, is first step is for the director of the area. The second step after the director approve is for the VP. And the third step after the VP approve is for the president of the company. So let's say we want those 3 steps. So the title is, I don't know, budget approval. Okay, just to say something. And then the first step is to Gaston at powermate.com. Let's say Gaston is the director. And then the second is the vice president. Let's imagine that John is our vice president. John at powermate.com. And then, okay, we need to, after Sean approve, we need to send that approval to the vice president. So let's say like we have president at our nice company, PowerMate Incorporated.com. So in that case, what's going to happen is when an item was created on SharePoint, let's say you are creating a request for a budget, let's say budget approval. So someone needs 100K for an event. So start creating the approval. And so getting the information from the SharePoint item, then Gaston, as the director, say, okay, I review the budget and approve. And then that's going to create a new task for Sean as the vice president. And if Sean approves, that's going to create a new task assigned to the president of the company. If any of those two reject, of course, the approval process is going to be rejected and no task is going to be sent to the president. So this is something that you can avoid, send like spam emails to someone, something that has no sense. This is the way you can do it. And then, of course, you can send more a markdown, like the page, the link to the SharePoint item with the information, documentation, and all. Another link, a description. And so this is the way you can create the approval task and create the sequence approval in Power Automate. So, Gaston, what do you think? Did you find that useful?
Yeah, this is really great. It's and we've been on those kind of videos where we can accelerate the productivity for our teams and freeing up the time for the entire team and focus on more kind of strategic work. So that is really great. I hope that everybody joining and check on this video can leave the comments to this video, and we hope that this found this overview helpful for everyone here. Stay tuned for more in-depth insights, tutorials, and exciting news here in our channel.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and join us on this journey.
Together, let's unlock the full potential on Power Platform and Microsoft Fabric.
Yeah.